There's no coincidences in the world. You have two things that are happening right now. You have a massive federal case in D.C. District Court. And you have Leo DiCaprio coming in, you have all these movie stars, and it's almost crickets. Our Jane Zirkle's covering it. And the types of numbers they're talking about, this Jolo, this Malaysian billionaire, was going to put $40 million into the Democratic Party as a foreigner. And Leo DiCaprio is up there for 2 hours on the stand. Leo DiCaprio up there, and there's almost no coverage. Where normally there would be a bevy of photographers around all that. And he talks about, this guy's talking about all the time, putting $40 million into the Democratic Party. The numbers are talking about the extradition of Miles Guo. There's a Higginbotham is an employee of the Justice Department. The Chinese Communist Party gave him $40 million. This is some mid-level guy, $40 million to work on extraditing Miles Guo. The rapper who's actually up on the charges, the amount of money they were giving him to make sure this could happen. Steve Wynn, a major entrepreneur, and quite frankly, very close to President Trump, has been well documented, went out of his way, and he was going to get a bonus. And Brody was going to get a $15 or $25 million bonus to extradite Miles Guo back to China. Now we have the whole situation of the police stations in the Chinatown. And Matt Palumbo, come in here. The entire state security apparatus is around Miles Guo, the 912 Project. He's victim number one, which they won't mention. And in any of this documentation, whether in the court or whether here, they will never mention Miles Guo's name. I mean, the reason is it shows you the corruption of our system. We have a freedom fighter that's been our greatest ally in identifying the number one existential threat we have in this country, which is the criminal element of Beijing and who they've paid off as a fifth column in our country. Matt Palumbo.
Yeah, I mean, the extent of the conspiracy, and I think it is an appropriate word in this context, is incredible. There are all these various cases involving Guo, and in almost every case, there is a tie back to the CCP somewhere. But the biggest thing here is to keep him from testifying and from speaking. And we were mentioning how in this new FBI document, he is listed only as victim one, but it is almost comical because they will describe him to a T, where there is no doubt that it is him, but then put it as victim one. They will describe his followers. And it does give the impression that the number one goal of this 912 group was take down Miles. And you were saying about some of the almost bounties on Miles. And it seems like 40 million is just the going rate to try to deport Miles. And, I think I made the point on the last show, like, these are just the ones we know of. So if they're willing to pay 40 million to a couple people here and there, what is the sum total and what are they trying to cover up? And I would say it's probably in the billions. And it has to be something big. Even before Miles came to the U.S. as a whistleblower, he was already a successful businessman, so you can't accuse him of fraud. And he already had uncovered things that put various CCP officials behind bars. So we know he's legitimate, and there is a coordinated effort to censor him. So in the Pras Michel trial, you mentioned Leonardo DiCaprio has testified. Well, they want to get Guo to testify as well, but they are preventing Michel's lawyers from even serving Guo, which is a bit odd. And the reason why is because he will further expose the DOJ and FBI corruption. And also of note, people like Higginbotham, he got a plea deal. He got no jail time. The only people in the whole Pras Michel trial who's actually facing consequences is Michel. And the theory I gave last time was he's the fall guy. He's the guy who has got a pretty sketchy past. And if you're going to stick it on someone, you stick it on that guy. Well, all the higher ups in the DOJ and FBI, you let them get off. Don't have it make headlines, and don't let Miles testify to expose the true extent of what they were doing.